1.7 million people who admit to drinking more than the recommended safe limits, dangerous limits in England. And the 600,000 people who admit to being dependent on alcohol. And the key word there is admit. Because of course, if anybody is ashamed of their drinking habits at all, of course they're not going to tell the truth and admit it. And certainly not in a survey. So it's a secret that we've been keeping for generations. So the work I am dedicating my life to, my purpose, is through for the love of clarity. And this work can instigate change in your own life, family members' life, a friend's life. It can even help change the life of the person who serves you coffee on your way to work. And I really hope what you hear today may help change your own perceptions of what addiction and recovery means to you. So I'm Lindsey Fish. I'm ambitious, outgoing, I've got 3 gorgeous daughters, and I'm also 21 months sober. And for the first time in my life since going sober, I've dedicated time to my own self-care and my own healing, and I'm ready to rise again and live a life of purpose, which I'm just so dedicated to do. So I'm here outside of my own comfort zone and my fear, because this purpose matters more. I'm going to tell you about how I launched a new U.K charity which aims to help smash the stereotype, change the narrative, reduce shame and inspire change in people for good. So what's apparent is people are struggling to do life, you know? So we turn to numbing behaviours. It could be food, sex, shopping, or of course my choice was alcohol. And we've never been taught ways to kind of navigate the trauma, the past pain that we all have and carry. We haven't been taught how to regulate our nervous systems. We're living in a constant state of stress and fear. And this cycle can continue for years, and some never ever find a way out. But I'm really, really pleased to say that I did. So I'll share with you my own story about how I came to stand here, almost 2 years sober. And it's only now that I can look back with complete clarity about where my reliance on alcohol began. And it was during a time of a deep depression after having my second baby. I ran a business at the time and it went into administration, and it just felt like my whole world collapsed. So I turned to alcohol to self-medicate, to numb my whole entire existence. But of course it just made everything worse. And I didn't know at that time that, you know, your body would get used to an addictive substance at the end of the day. It's highly addictive. So luckily I made it through the other side, hope returned. But I'm really also sad to say that even a few years later, I found it really hard to moderate my drinking still, at a time when I should have been happy. The wine, the inner wine witch was real. There was an inner voice in me, and it's really sad to say that wine felt like a friend. Oh, it's awful, honestly. Oh. Alcohol fueled that destructive mental state. Shame led to more drink, drink led to more shame, and it was just a downward spiral. I'd done no self-work at this point. I was 38 years old, no self-work. I felt unworthy, undeserving. I had a partner, I should have been happy, but I pushed him away, self-sabotaged, and then he left. And during this whole time of having this toxic relationship with alcohol, I didn't look like you may think I did. I wasn't stumbling down any streets, there was no brown paper bags, I wasn't stumbling in doorways. I was a mother I picked up my kids from school. I'd started to return to work and my career by this point. Oh gosh. Oh my gosh. It all led to, oh God, I can't even. It all led to the mental decline, physical detriment, and obviously the decline of my relationship. But him leaving was my catalyst for change, my moment of clarity. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. There are a million reasons why I could have stopped drinking and should have stopped drinking before that point. But I never ever thought I could, you know? Oh, this is mad, I was in my head.
You're doing so well.
There are a million reasons why I could have stopped drinking, but I never ever thought that I could. And when he left, that was when I realised that there were no excuses left. There were no excuses left, and if I ever wanted to attain what me and my brother call sustained stability, the alcohol just had to go. Mental kind of stability for me at that point was like walking on a tightrope. It was really, really wobbly, and I was prone to falling off. And throughout this whole time of this experience, I genuinely thought it was just me. I thought I was alone having this weird toxic relationship with alcohol. I honestly thought it was just me that was alternating the shops where I bought my wine from. So what I did when he left, before my day one, I went to the doctors. He asked me how much I drank. I told him the truth, and instead of antidepressants, he prescribed me a drug called nalmefene. It's horrible to admit, but it's true. And my day one was on the 24th of June 2022. Oh gosh. So before my day one, I had never ever looked up sober support ever. I didn't know there was a sober world out there at all. Obviously I knew about AA, but that just did not resonate with me in any way, shape or form at all. I didn't feel like that was for me. So on my day one, I searched sober in Facebook, and a community popped up, a page, Be Sober Community Interest Company. I joined their group. I'm going to use Hannah's water. Oh, I'm all right. So I joined this Facebook group, and I'd never joined it before, it was brand new, and I typed away a confession. It was basically saying and admitting that I'd had this terrible experience, that this was my day one, and it was a picture of me and my daughter with Rosie, because I wanted people to see what I looked like, and I just pressed send to this raw confession, and I didn't expect anything back whatsoever. It just felt cathartic to do it, you know. And the responses I got that day were incredible, you know. Those could have been my words. I remember it. Those could have been my words. You are brave, you are courageous, and we're here for you. The messages of support I got that day were instrumental to my sober success, and I knew for certain that if only more people could hear the stories, know what's out there, know that it's not their fault, that there are other people like them who are functioning on the outside and deteriorating mentally and physically on the inside. So with my skill set of marketing, launching businesses, and an entrepreneurial mindset, I set about to launch a brand new UK charity for the love of clarity, and whose mission was to do just that, to get sobriety seen. And by just doing that, something so simple as that, I truly believe that it can reduce alcohol harm in the UK. So the mission is through speaking, through media campaigns, through events, we will create creative campaigns which get the sober voices, faces and messages and stories seen and heard alongside the mainstream media. Let the world know, let people know that people just like them have kept the same secret. In fact, you will never hear of a person who set themselves free from alcohol have regrets about that decision ever. So all of this was just too important to stay quiet. It was just something I had to do. That's why I'm here today. That's my mission. That's why For the Love of Clarity is here. Thank you.